Red-hot favourite here was Warning. He'd been beaten on his reappearance at Newbury, so he needed to show today that he was still as good as ever. He was a firm favourite at 5-2 on. His main rival was Reprimand, trained by Henry Cecil, and one of the few good chances this week for the champion trainer. The early pace was fast and furious.
And towards the right of the picture, Hilton Brown goes straight into the lead, the winningmost horse in the race, winner of 8 races. He's run in 63, whereas the others have run in 54 races between them. And Hilton Brown taking him along at a real good clip from Always Valiant. Reprimand right up with the pace, and it's Hilton Brown from Reprimand and Always Valiant as they race now past the 5 furlong marker. Hilton Brown and Tony Clark from Steve Cawthon on Reprimand, Always Valiant on the outside, Sweet Chesney in the white cap, Bocas Rose the only filly on the near side, and the 2 back markers are the odds-on favourite Warning and French Stress, the French challenger, with Hilton Brown still taking him along at a real good pace from Reprimand going smoothly in second, Sweet Chesney towards the outside of Bocas Rose as Always Valiant loses ground, and Pat Edery beginning to make ground now towards the outside, the left of the picture as they come down towards the 2 furlong marker on Warning, but it's Reprimand who's taken it up now from Warning. French Stress trying to produce a challenge. Reprimand's under pressure and Warning coming there strongly towards his outside as they come down towards the furlong pole. It's Warning now, goes to the front from Reprimand in second, Sweet Chesney third, French Stress 4. Pat Edery going to score number 1 of the meeting now as he strides up towards the line, and Warning wins the Queen Anne Stakes in great style from Reprimand second, Sweet Chesney is third, and 4 French Stress.
Warning the winner at 5-2 on. Reprimand second, 6-1. Sweet Chesney third, 11-1, but only 7 round. This is the man who's ridden the first winner at Royal Ascot in 1989. Pat, congratulations, and a really sparkling performance, wasn't it?
Yes, he was very good today. He seemed to, today's performance was more or less like his Ascot race last year.
How fast was the early pace today? That seemed to suit you better, I thought.
Yeah, he went a good pace on the pacemaker, and you know, progressively he worked up, and it suited my horse well for that.
How did he handle the ground? Do you feel that he just prefer to get his toe in a little bit more?
Well, you know, today is the first race on the track, so it's always going to be the better ground. But, it's fast ground today, and the horse, he handled it okay. I'd say just, you know, he probably is a little bit better horse with just a
timing, ridden by Pat Edery and representing trainer Jeremy Tree in his last season as a trainer.
2 timing from Hibernian Gold and opening verse, then Beaucher in 5th, and going well is Most Welcome. Little gap then to Galitzin, Lapierre and Petrillo. Still 2 timing and Pat Edery. From Hibernian Gold, Steve Cawthon opening verse towards his outside in very close touch, then Beaucher and Most Welcome on the inside as they race into the home turn in the Prince of Wales Stakes. It's 2 timing from Hibernian Gold and opening verse, Most Welcome on the inside of Beaucher. Into the stretch now with 2.5 furlongs to run, and it's Pat Edery on the inside on 2 timing from Steve Cawthon and Hibernian Gold, who comes to challenge him with opening verse on the outside. Most Welcome looking for room over on the far rail. 2 timing, Hibernian Gold and opening verse. Beaucher coming there on the outside. Most Welcome's got plenty to do. They're coming down to the furlong pole, and it's 2 timing with the advantage from Beaucher coming there strongly on the stand side. It's 2 timing from Beaucher as they race up towards the line. 2 timing and Pat Edery from Beaucher as they come to the line. Pat Edery is going to win again at the line. 2 timings the winner. Beaucher is second, and third is Most Welcome.
2 timing the winner at 5-1. Beaucher second, 12-1. Most Welcome third, the 6-4 on favourite. There was a steward's inquiry there into possible interference below the distance, but after the inquiry, the placings remained unaltered. Quick double there for Pat Edery, a double 2 for Prince Khalid Abdullah of Saudi Arabia, and a very popular winner for trainer Jeremy Tree in his last season. I put it to him that 2 timing hadn't been a particularly easy horse to train.
No, he hasn't. But I must say the credit of that is entirely down to the owner. I wanted really, if left to my own devices, to run him in the listed race at York on Saturday. But I got a message. Prince Carly was in Saudi Arabia, and I got a message saying that he's very keen to run the horse at Ascot. So there you are. I'm glad I didn't argue.
But how have you stopped him pulling so hard?
Well, I don't know that we have. I think he pulled very hard today, but we don't fight him anymore. We've learnt that. There's no good trying to fight him. He just runs himself into the ground.
Earlier on, I mean, you did think that he was going to be a very good horse indeed. Well, he still is.
I think he is a very good horse, but unfortunately he won't settle. If he would settle, he'd be a super horse.
As always, Shardy got himself very warm before the start, but he wasn't the only one. There was spectacular opposition to him in the betting ring. He went off at 6-4 against. Thorn Dance, representing Steve Cawthon and Henry Cecil, was the big danger. But would he stay, and would the ground be too firm? Peter O'Sullivan describes the race.
That's it. All 5 in stall for the St James's Palace Stakes, and they're running. Shardy towards the far side, goes straight into the lead. Shardy from Great Commotion in second, then comes Scenic and Thorn Dance. The back marker of the 5 is the outsider of the 5, Green Smith, as Shardy takes them along from Great Commotion. Then comes Scenic. Behind Scenic is Thorn Dance, and then Green Smith. Shardy still making it from Great Commotion. Scenic, rider with the white cap, in 4th, then Thorn Dance. 5 is Green Smith. As they race past the 5 marker, Shardy from Scenic, the 2 Sheikh Mohammed horses from Great Commotion back in 3rd now, Thorn Dance, and then Green Smith still going well in behind the other 4, as Shardy races towards the home turn now. And it's Shardy from Scenic, Great Commotion, Thorn Dance and Green Smith as they swing into the straight. Shardy from Scenic, Great Commotion, Thorn Dance and Green Smith at the 2 furlong pole. Shardy with the advantage from Scenic in second. Thorn Dance and Green Smith trying to challenge. Great Commotion still over on the far rail. Shardy from Scenic. Green Smith moves into 3rd. And Pat Edery coming to try and challenge on the stand side. But it's Shardy on the far side, Green Smith on the near side as they race into the closing stages. Shardy being chased by Green Smith all the time. Shardy's going to hold him at the line. Shardy is the winner. Green Smith is second, and 3rd is Scenic, and 4 is Great Commotion. 5 and last, the disappointing Thorn Dance.
Shardy the winner, 6-4 favourite. Greensmith second, 10-1. Only 5 wrapped. Walters went on a beautiful front-running performance. Were you worried that the horse did seem to get a little bit more disturbed, perhaps than usual today before the race?
Well, I think that's probably a bit unfair, Julian. I mean, to say he was sweating a lot is quite right. I mean, it's a very warm day.
We all were.
And he is a free sweater anyway. But, I mean, he wasn't getting on his toes or wasn't doing anything stupid. And, he cantered down to post lovely.
Just for a couple of moments, you had to put the hood on before going into the stalls.
We've been doing that since he was a 2-year-old. That's him. He has a look at them and, it causes everyone less aggravation.
Now, in the race itself, at what stage did you realise that you're going to go off and make the running?
Well, we talked it over with Sheikh Mohammed and Anthony Stroud, and all of us, we came to the conclusion we may have to make our own running. I wasn't really all that worried about it. It would have been nice to have had a lead, but he's the type of horse who, as long as he's using himself, is not too inconvenient.
Beverley, it'd be a great triumph for Chris Wall if he could win this one with Candy Glen, but Regal Thatch goes in. I don't think there are many more. Over to Peter O'Sullivan.
No, that's it. And they're running. Regal Thatch breaks fast, in fact, in the centre, and Candy Glen and Robelation. Robelation towards the near side. The leader from Candy Glen over on the far side. Dancing Music showing very good speed indeed. Dancing Music from on the far side, Rock City in the centre. Right up there now is Wadood, and on the near side, Robelation, Sir Arthur Hobbs as well there, Candy Glen also, Regal Thatch holding his place, Dancing Music on the far side with Rock City, and also coming there, Poke the Fire on the far side, but on the near side now, Candy Glen takes a fractional lead on the near side from Wadood in the centre, Regal Thatch over on the far side, Dancing Music and Rock City, Prince Jackatom getting into the picture too. Wadood has the fractional advantage now, and it's Wadood on the near side from Rock City on the far side. Candy Glen right onto the stands rail. Duck and Dive producing a run on the far side. Coming into the closing stages now, and Rock City's taking it up over on the far side from Wadood. It's Rock City, Wadood. Candy Glen on the near side. Rock City has the advantage. The race up towards the line. Rock City has won it and at the line. Rock City is the winner. Wadood is second, and third is Candy Glen, and fourth was Bold Russian. And so the result of the Coventry Stakes. First, number 14, Rock City, owned by AF Budge Equine Limited, trained by Richard Hannon and ridden by Willie Carson. Second was number 16, Wadood, owned by Sheikh Mohammed, trained by Michael Stout and ridden by Walter Swinburne. And third was number 4, Candy Glen, owned by Mr. Anthony Warrender, trained by Chris Wall and ridden by Nigel Day. Fourth was number 2, Bold Russian. Rock City by Ballard Rock out of Ramosa's Pet maintains his unbeaten record. This 35,000 guinea foal, who cost 50,000 as a yearling, has become the 24th winner of the season for Richard Hannon and number 39 for Willie Carson.
Yes, a brilliant performances by Rock City. One from the left there as Willie Carson punches him towards the lead, a lead which had been taken by Walter Swinburne on Wadood inside the 2 furlong marker when he looked like winning. Candy Glen always there on the stand rails, and these three detach themselves now. But there can't be much wrong with this ground, because connections of this horse were concerned that it was going to be too firm for him, but he's galloped really well on the ground, Rock City. This half-brother to Carrera, who's favourite for the King Stand Stakes later on in the weeks, put up a brilliant performance to complete his hat-trick, fully 2.5, 3 lengths clear of the impressive Wadood.
And it's Spring Hay from Cacoethes. Cacoethes taking on Spring Hay already as they race towards the 5 pole, with Really Brilliant and Val Ressit next, and then Zayani making a little ground on the inside. Spring Hay, Cacoethes, as they race towards the turn in the King Edward VII Stakes. Really Brilliant chased up there on the outside of Cacoethes to go second now. Cacoethes back in third, racing round the home turn, and it's Spring Hay from Really Brilliant, Cacoethes third, then Steve Cawthon making ground towards the outside on Arctic Envoy into the straight. Spring Hay from Really Brilliant, Cacoethes, and then Arctic Envoy racing to the 2 marker now. Spring Hay being challenged now by Cacoethes, coming there very strongly. Pat Edery looks over his left shoulder, sees that Zayani is now the challenger as they race into the final furlong. It's Cacoethes from Zayani, Pat Edery from Walter Swinburne as they race into the closing stages. It's Cacoethes from Zayani, Cacoethes quickening away from Zayani as they race to the line. Cacoethes wins it cleverly from Zayani second, with Spring Hay third.
Cacoethes is the winner, the 13-8 on favourite. Zion is second, 8-1. Spring Hay third at 50-1.